My name is Keith Hall. Welcome to another NASE Minute. You know, it's very popular these days to form an S corporation. Maybe you've been approached by someone, maybe you've read about it, maybe you have a client or a friend who has formed an S corp. The typical concept is, can I form an S corp so that I can pay less in taxes? Now, certainly that's an option. The key factor, without getting into too much boring detail, if you set up an S corp, the earnings from that S corp still flow through to your personal tax return, but some of the earnings that flow through to your personal tax return can be sheltered from FICA and Medicare tax or Social Security tax. For example, if you make $50,000 in your sole proprietorship as a Schedule C small business owner, all $50,000 of that is subject to federal income tax and SE tax or Social Security tax. If you form an S corporation and say pay yourself $25,000 in wages, those wages susceptible to the same taxes, federal income tax and Social Security tax, but the other $25,000 still flows through to your personal tax return, but is not subject to FICA and Medicare. Now that's roughly 15% on $50,000 as a total. $25,000 is sheltered, so that saves you 15% on $25,000, about $3,750 in tax savings just for setting up an S corporation. Now, what you may have heard, you may have been approached by an individual who does this for a living, has told you, hey, I can show you how to save $3,700 by just setting up an S corporation. Now, great idea. From a technical standpoint, all those things are exactly correct, but I want you to be very careful with this decision. Okay, the concept of this FICA Medicare being sheltered to part of those earnings is that we're classifying some of those earnings as unearned income so that they kind of act like investment income, if you will. That's why it's not subject to Social Security tax. Now, if you're a real estate agent or you're a CPA like me or you're an attorney, and all of the money that you earn in that S corporation comes from your personal efforts, you're providing consulting services, you're hammering nails, whatever you're doing, if all of that income is coming from your personal efforts, by definition, that is earned income. So this is an issue the IRS could have with that tax return if that's your situation. So make sure you're aware of that. In your situation, if we here at NASE can help with that, if you want us to talk through that issue with you, our experts are available. That's certainly an option. If this is something you choose to do, at least make sure you do it correctly. Okay, the key point here is the earned income from your business needs to be subject to all of those taxes. Okay, whether that's earnings as a sole proprietorship or it's the wages that you choose to pay yourself. So here's the key point. The wages that you pay yourself from your new S corp need to have certain characteristics, okay? So make sure the wages that you pay are reasonable in connection with the services that you provide. So find some third-party support, find some survey, if you will. Look at other companies that do the same things that you do. How much do they pay their key executives? Okay, so the key point is whether those wages are reasonable. So if you're going to choose this option to save some taxes on FICA and Medicare, be careful. Make sure you look at, for example, 4 key factors. Make sure the wages you pay yourself are reasonable. Don't just use some random percentage. Don't just say 50% of the income. Try to find some third-party support, like a survey or another client. And make sure you document where that wage amount came from. So if this is a choice, make sure you're reasonable about it. Ask these questions. We can help you at NASE.org. Make sure those wages that you pay yourself are reasonable in connection with the services you provide. And if the IRS comes asking, you'll have the support to provide them. So if you have more questions about this, bookmark our website at NASE.org. We're here to help. And always remember, you're not alone.